What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the KeepItTechie channel. I know it's been a minute since I dropped a video, but your boy is back and I'm excited to get into it. Life has been busy, but I've been working on some cool projects behind the scenes, and trust me, there's a lot more on the way. So if you've been rocking with me during this break, much love, and I appreciate y'all for sticking around. Now today, we're talking about something I've been looking forward to, and that's Rocky Linux 9.5. And if you're in the Linux game, or you've been eyeing a solid enterprise Linux option for your setup, you'll want to stick around for this one. I mean, this release comes packed with some powerful features that'll make you say, yeah, this is what I need. So let's dive into it. And once again, I'm glad to be back. So let's get into it. All right, so first off, let me show you guys how to get the distro. So you can go to rockylinux.org. This is where you can download the ISO for the latest version or release of Rocky Linux. Now, let me head over to the news first so you guys can check out what's new in this latest release. And this article came out on November 19th, which was yesterday for me. So I don't know if you guys checked it out, but they do have the release notes in this article. But let's break down what makes Rocky Linux 9.5 special. And for those who might not know, Rocky Linux was created as a community-driven replacement for CentOS when Red Hat decided to change things up with CentOS Stream. Now, Rocky Linux picked up the torch and said, we got this, and here we are with version 9.5, keeping that promise alive. So let's scroll down a little bit, and one of the biggest highlights you'll see is Podman 5.0. And if you're managing containers, this is a big deal. Faster boot times, better support for multiple platform image building, and some serious upgrades to the networking stack. It's like Podman just hit the gym and came back swole. Now, another thing I saw that was super cool is Cockpit. Now, they've really stepped their game up in this release, and this is that web-based console for managing your servers remotely. And now it includes file management capabilities with the Cockpit Files package. So if you're not feeling like flexing your command line skills, you've got an easy way to manage files through your browser, which I thought was super cool. And if we scroll down a little bit more, for developers, they didn't forget about you guys. They got some updates to toolchains, so GCC 11.5, Rust 1.79, Go 1.22. And this is the kind of stuff that makes coders smile. And performance tools like Grafana 10.2.6 and GDB 14.2 are in there too. And you'll see that down a little further. But whether you're troubleshooting or monitoring performance, Rocky Linux 9.5 has your back. And if we scroll down a little further, if you look under testing, the testing process is thorough. They validated this release across a ton of environments, both manual and automated. So you're getting that reliable enterprise Linux experience. Now, one other thing I wanted to point out, if you look down here under upgrades and conversion processes, if you're on Rocky Linux 8, there's no direct upgrade to 9.5. You'll need to do a fresh install. But if you're coming from another EL9 based distro, you can use the Migrate to Rocky tool to make the switch. And this tool has you covered with that process. Now let's hop into my favorite part, which is the demonstration of the install and show you guys the desktop environment and all that good stuff. So we at the grub menu for Rocky Linux 9.5. So I'm gonna just go straight to the install. So let's go down, press enter there, and let's run through the install real quick. All right, so the first thing that'll pop up is basically setting your language. So let's go down and do that. And the install is pretty much straightforward, just like any other Rail-based installation. You want to select your destination of where you want it to go. And obviously we're gonna select our drive. I'm gonna go in and hit it twice, so it'll put that check mark there. You can select your drive. You can do your automatic storage configuration, or you can go in and configure it yourself, custom. If you want to, you can encrypt your data by putting a passphrase in there. And then you can also check out the full disk summary. So let's just hit done there. We're done with that. and you can go through each one of these steps, like your time and date, your language. Most of it is going to be default. If you're in the US, it's going to automatically select English, United States for the language, time, date, America. It automatically picked up my location. I'm on the West Coast, so Los Angeles. Installation source, so the closest mirror. It'll pick the closest mirror to me. Server with GUI. So that's the software selection. You can go in here. You can add whatever else you want. Like this is the base environment right here. How you want the system set up. You can set it up as a workstation. You can set it up as a custom operating system, virtual host, server, minimal install, basic functionality. But by default, it's going to set it up as a server with a GUI. And then you can add your other services or software to the system. Let's say you want to set it up as a DNS server or a file server, file store server, FTP server. It'll put those tools on there that you need and just make it simple for you. You can get the system pretty much set up. You just have to go in and configure it based on whatever your needs are for that server. So let's go down here, done there. I'm not going to select anything else. KDump is enabled. We can leave that enabled. It automatically found our network, which is fine. There is a security profile you can specify. I'm not going to mess with it. You can go in and change it based on your needs. So I'm not going to select the profile at the moment. You can go in and set your root password. I'm just set something pretty simple. That'll be strong enough to go through the process. So lock root account, we can lock it, that's fine. And I don't want to allow root SSH login, that's fine. And then let's do a user creation. So we're going to make this a user administrator. It's the way I recommend it. Require a password to use this account, yes. And let's go down and type in our password, boom. And then there are some advanced options in here. You can specify a user ID manually, a group ID manually. You want to add the import of the will group, which is basically a pseudo group. So they have pseudo privileges. Just put a comment in here and you can add them to that group. And this is the home directory for that user. If you want to change it, you can. But yeah, it's going to create that home directory for that user. So let's go down and let it go, and I'll come back when it actually finishes. So as you can see, it's complete. All you have to do is hit reboot system, and let's wait for it to come back up. All right, cool. So we are good to go. Let's go down and log in. Type in our user, our password, and log into the system. And by default, it comes with known, just so you guys know. And I'm gonna say no thanks to the tour, but you guys can check it out for yourself. But here we go. This is Rocky Linux, and boom. Not that difficult to use. It's just like using Red Hat. You got Firefox, you got your software center. If you want to open that up and check that out, you can install all your software from here, as well as from the command line, using DNF or yum, run all your updates and all that good stuff. And one thing I wanted to check out, let's check out what kernel it comes with. So let's go uname -a. Let's see what we got here. We got the 5.14 kernel that it comes with. And that's good for right now. And that's pretty much all I wanted to look at on this system. I just wanted to walk you guys through the install, just show you guys how simple it is to install Rocky Linux. Let's see what other backgrounds that came with this version of Rocky Linux. Yeah, they came out with some super cool ones. I like that one right there. Let's go on and roll with that one. See what it looks like. Yeah, that looks dope. Like that background. But anyway, that's it for showing you guys the install and the overall system. But now let's talk about how I feel about Rocky Linux 9.5. First off, I gotta say this release continues to prove why Rocky Linux is holding it down for the open source community. They're not just playing catch up, they're innovating in their own way. Like for instance, I'm hyped about the updates to Podman. Containers are becoming the backbone of so many setups. Whether it's enterprise environments or home labs like the ones I'm always showing you guys, Podman 5.0's performance upgrades, they're going to make life a lot easier for anyone working with containers. And then there's Cockpit. Look, I love the command line. It's where I feel at home, but sometimes you just want a quick way to handle server management without typing out a dozen commands. So Cockpit makes that possible. And the file management feature is just icing on the cake. And I'm gonna have to do an updated video showing you guys Cockpit again, because I think that feature is second to none. Also, the updated toolchains, that's a win for developers. So whether you're building apps or testing something new, having the latest versions of GCC, Rust, and Go means you've got the tools to get the job done efficiently. Now, it's not perfect. There are a couple known issues like the Anaconda installer acting up in certain environments, but let's be real, no distro is flawless. And consider how active the Rocky Linux community is. I wouldn't be surprised if these issues get resolved quickly. So overall, Rocky Linux 9.5 feels like a distro that's built for the long haul. So whether you're running a critical server, managing containers, or just getting started with Linux, this release has something for everyone. All right, guys, that's all for today's video. Rocky Linux 9.5 is out here making moves, and I'm glad I could share it with you guys. It feels good to be back after a little break, and I'm excited to drop more content for you guys real soon. And if you're thinking about trying out Rocky Linux or you're already using it, hit me up in the comments and let me know your thoughts. I mean, what features are you most excited about? Let's get a conversation going. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, go down and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring that bell so you don't miss anything. And as always, I appreciate the love and support. Until next time, stay safe, stay techie, and keep on pushing. Peace. Whenever I talk to people, whenever I mentor people dealing with, getting into tech, you got to figure out what you like or what you're interested in. Because, yeah, a lot of people get into the, tech field because you can make a good amount of money. The money is the motivator. But you also, in my opinion, in order for you to be happy, you got to like what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And so, like for me, a lot of times it doesn't feel like work, bro. Most times it really doesn't feel like work. I'm doing something fun. I'm doing something I love to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's what makes it, great for me.